Hey guys, Luke McLaughlin here from Holistic Survival School. Hey, I just wanted to talk about why I created Holistic Survival School and what our goals are and what we try to do at HSS. And to do that, I think I have to tell you a little bit about my life, my personal life story. So I grew up in Mason, Michigan, a little farm town. Kind of grew up the all-American lifestyle, playing a lot of sports, doing everything right, getting good grades. I grew up always enjoying the woods and nature, and I always felt really at home there. And on my way up through high school and college, even when things would get wrong and things would get hard, I'd often say, I wish I was just a lumberjack. I wish I just lived in the woods, lived a simple life, so I wouldn't have to worry about all this hard stuff sometimes. I found myself after college in education. I was teaching because I love mentoring people. I love mentoring young adults. But still, even when I was doing that, my heart never felt really fulfilled. So later on, I found myself in grad school studying biology, and still things weren't right. I was doing everything society told me I should do: go to college, get an education, help people in some way. And even when I did all these right things, something just didn't feel right inside my heart. Finally, I had the realization that I had been living life for other people, or what I thought other people wanted of me. So I finally grew the courage to drop out of grad school and move out west. I'd always had this dream of moving out west and living a simple life, living in the woods, living out in the wilderness somewhere. I found a sweet job as a wilderness therapy field guide. I've spent 2.5 years working there in Utah. At that program, what we do is basically bring at-risk youth into the wilderness. We let the wilderness do a lot of the teaching. I'm there to facilitate, to help the kids with some survival skills. But overall, it was really eye-opening for me to see how much, not only did the kids grow in the wilderness, but how much I grew. We'd have situations where maybe the kids were hiking up a mountain, and we're all hiking the same mountain, but every kid had a different response to the wilderness. Some would say, oh, this is hard, and I'm pissed at my parents. And others would say, oh, this is hard, and I hate myself. And some would say, oh, this is hard, and I want to use drugs. And it was just interesting to see how nature brought out what anyone needed at that time. So kind of through all of my experiences out in the wild with that program, I kind of learned the power and the beauty and all these awesome things that nature can provide for us. Along the same time, I felt that we as a society, we keep moving away, farther and farther away from nature, farther and farther away from connecting to the seasons and to where our food comes from and things like that. And so I thought, what better way to change the world bit by bit than to help people connect to nature, help people connect to themselves. And that's really why I started Holistic Survival School. I call it Holistic Survival School because I want to get an all-encompassing view of what survival means. I have a tendency to hate the word survival. It's, oh, we're surviving, it's us against nature. And there is an aspect of overcoming nature at times and challenging yourself. But to get a complete view, what I like to think of is there are kind of the marine survivalists, the army-minded survivalists, who are awesome at so many things. They're great at, being prepared and challenging yourself and pushing yourself and really conquering challenges. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And then kind of on the other end of the spectrum are the hippies that are very good at going out in the wilderness and seeing the big picture and connecting and being, harmonious with what's around them. And I think that's a beautiful thing too. But I feel like there's a big dichotomy. It's either one or the other in our world. So my goal with Holistic Survival School is to bring both of those together. It's not just about survival of our physical self, if we ever were to get in that situation. It's about survival of our species. It's about survival of our planet. It's about survival of our spirit. The goal with HSS classes is to not only get you ready for survival situations if that ever were to occur, but the main goal is to connect, is to learn about what's around us, is to appreciate the beauty of nature, to connect with yourself, as well as challenge yourself and push yourself and learn new skills. That's really our goal, is to slow down, to be mindful, to be aware of what's around us and what's within us. When we do slow down, we begin to appreciate the beauty all around us. And when we appreciate the beauty around us, we're less likely to destroy what's around us. If you love something, it's hard to destroy it. And so that's really my goal, is to bring people out into the wilderness, to learn more about themselves, to connect to this earth, and hopefully help preserve it a little bit more. So I hope you can connect with us in some way. Please check out my Facebook page, check out my website, holisticsurvivalschool.com. I'll be teaching some classes both in Michigan and in Utah coming up, so Thanks for watching. I hope you connect with us in some way. Thanks.
Going panning for gold in these rivers. Gonna strike it big, go the California way.